The 20th through the 24th, she was beaten and tortured because they could not find this piece of jewelry.
Some jewelry, right? A 16-year-old girl.
Sometime there, she was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo. In Largo, the detectives found evidence that Miranda was dismembered at that location. They then placed her in a car and they drove her down to Ruskin where they dumped her into a dumpster, and her body is somewhere possibly in a landfill.
I have to say, this is the worst case scenario. As a father of a 16-year-old child, and daughter, and a 14-year-old daughter, this case of this 16-year-old mother being dismembered and killed by a really pedophilic and negative man, and being assisted by this woman who's wanted, is just a heartbreaking tale of just how dating apps go wrong, and just how children are so vulnerable in this world. So this is a heartbreaking story.
Detective, we believe that 16-year-old Miranda Corsetti was contacted by 35-year-old Stephen Gress on a social media app. And I'm going to stop there for one moment.
I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old daughter.
Out there, please, I'm begging you, please, make sure you know what your kids are doing on social media.
Yes.
And to the kids also, if someone is contacting you and are not a family member, please let your parents know. So again, we're talking about a 16-year-old that was contacted by a 35-year-old. On February the 14th, we know that Mr. Gress went to Miranda's home, picked her up, took her to his house, which is located at 2708 27th Avenue North. He took her to the house. She spent the day there. We know he took her back on the 24th. On the 15th of February, we know she went back to the house on her own. Now, on the 20th at the house, there was some type of dispute over some missing jewelry. So from the 20th through the 24th, she was beaten and tortured because they could not find this piece of jewelry.
Some jewelry, right? A 16-year-old girl.
Sometime there, she was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo. In Largo, the detectives found evidence that Miranda was dismembered at that location. They then placed her in a car and they drove her down to Ruskin where they dumped her into a dumpster, and her body is somewhere possibly in a landfill somewhere in that county.
16-year-old girl, y'all.
Yesterday we
That's a
realized
child.
that Mr.